What about that, huh? Is that going to be an option?
Um, I'm not sure that this would be enough.
And welcome to another edition of our weekly chat about RB Leipzig in English, brought to you by Richard and Mario from Leipzig. And we come to you online every Thursday and Friday, or whenever we feel like it. And today is one of those days. It's like a bonus track that we're releasing. Richard, how are you today?
Hey, good morning, Mario. Thank you. I slept well. I'm so excited about this episode. And that's going to be a great show. Let's go.
It's good to hear that, because you're excited about every episode that we've done so far, even the ones we have never released. Excellent. Thank you. So today is sort of an additional track because so many things are happening. And in German, we call this Englische Wochen because there are so many games during the week, starting a couple of weeks ago. And today we're going to talk about key takeaways from the Bayern Munich game and have a little preview of the upcoming clash with Manchester City in the Champions League. So if we look at the last game of Bayern Munich, when we played Bayern Munich, of course, this is one of the highlights in the season. And I must admit, all the events that preceded that game, i.e. the release of duties of Max Ebel as a sporting director, did not really feature in any of the topics or discussions supporters had prior to the game. And I was really surprised about that. I think the focus was so much on the upcoming game with Bayern Munich. And during the game, you could really feel the intense atmosphere and great support of everyone, including, I think, myself. I tried to really yell down Harry Kane when he unfortunately scored that penalty. And he didn't take any notice, I can tell you that. So I was really pleased with that. What are your key takeaways from the match, Richard?
Okay, my key takeaways from that match are, Marco Rose always talks about playing adult football. And part of it, in my opinion, is being clever. Yeah, act smart. And this is what our young players have to learn very, very quickly. There were 3 scenes in that game that I recognized. The first was shortly after the game started, when Schlager committed a foul somewhere in midfield and Bayern executed the free kick very quick, while our players were moaning towards the ref, and Kane passed the ball to Musiala, who broke free and almost scored the early lead for Munich. And someone just has to stand there, take the ball in his hands, or do whatever necessary that the Bayern is not able to force the game go further that quickly.
I agree. I mean, we were really surprised that there was this open chance right at the start, but everybody else really just celebrated Yannis' great save, monster save.
Beautiful effort, by the way. Yes, indeed. The second situation I want to refer is when Benny calls the penalty. There's absolutely no need for him to put his arm up that high. Never. Okay. So because that helped Bayern massively to find back into the game.
I agree, but to be honest, we didn't even see that. I didn't even know. Well, it was on our side of the pitch, to be honest.
Yeah.
And when you could see the display that the VAR is checking something, you knew it was about a penalty, and it could only be a handball. But I couldn't point out how and who and why. So it was something we didn't really notice. To be honest, a lot of people didn't notice in the stadium.
Yes, it was a hard shot, and it wasn't, and even in the replay, it wasn't easy to see. But from the right angle, yes, there was no doubt about that. This ball touched the arm, and the arm was wide, spread from the body. So clear penalty. Yeah, and the third scene where we have to act smarter is in that dribbling by Sané or Musiala, I don't know who did it. And when Sané finally scored the equalizer, he was held and touched several times on his way through midfield, but no one was encouraged enough to pull his jersey to stop him. Okay, so we talk so often about professional foul when sometimes it's kind of necessary to avoid such a breakaway. And if there was ever a situation where it would have been just smart to commit a little tactical foul. Yeah, it was that scene.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people said. But in that moment when everything happened during the match, we just picked up on Sané's pace. It was beautifully played by Bayern Munich. You have to give him that. But Sané then did make some slightly provocative gestures into the RB Leipzig supporters area, which he could have just done without, to be honest, because nobody doubts his quality. But yeah, it was one of those moments when you thought, bloody hell. Why did we concede the equalizer here? And maybe coming back to the previous scene you talked about, the penalty that Harry Kane took. Before Harry Kane was actually taking the penalty, I think it was Mo. Mo really, or was it even David Raum, really gestured to the crowd just to get to get loud, to, as you would say in football, make some noise. And we did. But I have to tell you, Harry Kane is such a professional. He didn't take notice of that at all. Really took a very good penalty. Blasic did touch it, almost had the ball. But Harry Kane, otherwise, I didn't really see much in the game. But this one, he took exceptionally well, I must admit. Yeah. Another thing that struck me was how stupid, no, not very nice, or not very, very good Konnie Liner looks in the Bayern shirt. That looks so wrong. I mean, Upamecano got used to, but Konnie Liner in the Bayern shirt, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to get used to it. I don't know about you, but this looked wrong on so many levels.
Yeah, indeed, I'm with you. No doubt about it. That's the wrong shirt. But I like that he got his farewell from the club.
Yeah, that was, and I think that was a mutual feeling of respect and gratefulness. So all good on that front. So in regards to that game, and in regards to farewell of players who contributed so much, what do you think is going to happen on Wednesday when Joshko arrives?
Okay, I got an opinion to his role and situation in this Man City defense, but I don't want to spoil this right now.
Okay. But I believe you will come up with a cunning plan,
yes,
how we can beat Manchester City. But before you do that, I'm going to tell you what my cunning plan is. Are you ready for it?
Yes. Come on, let's go.
Get back Achim Bayer-Lorzer, just for one game, because he is unbeaten in Champions League games. What about that, huh? Is that going to be an option?
I'm not sure that this would be enough. I think it takes a little bit more this time.
Could help.
Yeah, it could help, maybe. So, okay, Man City. Let me start. Okay, Man City, RBL, same old.
I know.
This club will always be connected to our history because of that infamous 7-0 in the round of the last 16 this year's March. An unforgettable performance of Erling Haaland as he scored 5 times. And to be honest, if Pep wouldn't have taken him off after 63 minutes, I'm sure he would have scored 1 or maybe 2 more that night. He was so hot, and our team was just stunned of what this squad is capable of accomplishing. And so
it's painful to watch.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was really painful.
Yeah. And they're outperforming, not just us, they're outperforming the Premier League for 6 seasons now. Listen, they achieved 5 titles in the last 6 seasons, 3 in a row recently. Only Liverpool was able to interrupt the dominance in the 2019-2020 season when they made it to the top. So I repeat that for you and our listeners. Hopefully there are some. 5 titles in the last 6 seasons in the league that is packed with gazillions of money. So all teams, or the top teams at least, can spend ridiculous amounts of brass. What diminish it as a factor to outdo your competitors. And that is why I believe what Man City achieved here is so much harder than winning 12 times the Bundesliga in a row.
True.
And to me, that says a lot about those people who are running this business. So, like, spending a whole lot of money on famous and surely above average players is a piece of cake, you know? I could do that with ease, and you too. But
okay.
Yes, be good.
I'm going to quit my day job, I think.
but developing an idea of how I want, or maybe I have to play to be able to win titles, and then recognizing which certain player fits my needs most. This is a hard nut to crack. And this is what Pep and his staff are doing with a remarkable effort, year by year, season by season, over and over again. I tip my hat to that. And I have an example for you. You're surely remembering Vincent Kompany. Yeah, that famous Belgian defender who played for Man City for 11 years. Okay, so in my opinion, he was the backbone of this defense. And when he left at the end of the 2018-19 season, it was that next season where Man City struggled to find the right replacement, and Liverpool went for the championship finally. So sure, Man City still played on a high level and finished second in the league and conceded only 35 goals. But to show you what I mean with struggling is this shocking stat. Okay, get ready. Fasten your seatbelt.
I'm sitting. I'm holding tight. Come on.
They lost 9 games in that season when they finished runner-up. So 9 games losing. Okay, this is not much, but in Man City dimensions, this is a lot. It is because they lost 6 games in the 2 seasons before combined. Okay. Yeah. And then lost 9 games combined the 2 seasons after this mentioned 9-game losing season.
Must have felt like they get relegated pretty soon.
Yes, it is.
Poor guys.
It is just like that. It is just like that. So what Pep did, Pep recognized that there is a missing piece. Vincent Kompany. This is the missing piece in his puzzle, and he found the solution in Ruben Dias, who played for Benfica. Started there for 91 league games in a row when he was eligible to play. I think he missed only 1 or 2 because of a yellow card suspension.
Sounds like Willy Orban.
Yeah.
Slightly, huh? Yeah.
Also slightly. And so he played since the age of 20, 91 games in a row as a center back. He was never injured. Yeah. And he came in the 2020 start of the season for 62 million pounds. Then 23-year-olds at that time, and started the final 32 games of the Premier League in that season. So Ruben Dias came in 23 years old in the best league of the world and started 32 games
like
in
that.
a row. Yeah, and then from the very beginning, he was a huge factor for their defense stability. And if he plays, and he will, this task for
I'm
RBL,
afraid now.
Yes,
I'm really scared.
That was meant to be. And the task for RB offense department is definitely a harder one than it would be if not facing Diaz on the pitch. But there are some weaknesses which I take a look later on.
No way.
Yes,
I can't wait to hear about those weaknesses.
There are weaknesses. Okay, let me talk about the strength first.
Okay.
So Diaz is usually in the starting lineup, and the other even outstanding defenders who joins him in different formations is mostly Nathan Ake, who plays beside him in the center back field, or it's Manuel Akanji, who alternate with one another. As a right wing back, it's Kai Walker, and to me it's one of the best in the world. So don't attack the left side. Don't attack over the RB left side. So because you will face Kyle Walker on that right wing back side, this is clearly the better defending side of Man City. But we already we already saw Ake taking over on that left defense side, and sometimes Josko has to play there. And in my opinion, Josko is a world-class center back, but at best mediocre on that outside defending left side. So one key takeaway to win is attack over the right side. Let's face the truth. I think they conceded in the first 7 games in this season's Premier League and in the UCL 6 goals. Okay, 5 in the league and 1 against Red Star. So this Red Star goal against came after a turnover in midfield and was a breakaway. So we don't have to look into that. But the 5 goals in the league, they came all over their left defending side. Okay. So 2 times the goal was on Josko when he lost the crucial tackle in midfield or wasn't forceful enough. The other time to get to the attacking player and then try to block the ball. And those 2 goals against Wolves last Sunday, it seems that Eki isn't the fastest guy.
Okay.
So, besides a fun fact, did you see the game-winning goal from Wolves?
No, I didn't.
It was a nice interaction from Cunha and Wang.
Familiar
2
names.
players sorted out at RBL, but still good enough to beat Man City, whatever that means for our court.
Jesus.
Okay. So attack.
Hey, we should. Well, if you talk about these former players, hey, I got a point in getting Achim Bayerlotzer back. Come on.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. This is so one key to win: attack their left defensive side. Okay, midfield. You surely remember this midfield, this famous midfield in the recent years. Gündogan, De Bruyne, and Rodri. Okay,
beautiful.
So, Gündogan not there anymore. He left the club. De Bruyne out with the upper leg injury several weeks.
Poor guy.
So the last man standing is Rodri. And what I said about Ruben Dias as a defender, to me, it's the same thing about Rodri in midfield. It's the authority there in the defensive midfield. He's on that pitch anytime, unless Pep gives him a rest from time to time. And he's the maestro in that squad. He sees opportunities when one of his teammates is open and is really capable of getting passes off quickly. So in the last season, he finished second in the Premier League and completed passes with a total number of 2,723 and a passing success rate of 91.2%.
That's impressive.
This is insane. To put this into proportion, our passing leader and the passing leader of the Bundesliga, by the way, with 2,345, so what is about 400 passes less, was Willy Orban.
Okay.
With the passing success rate of 88.9%.
Which is very high already.
Yes, it is, and he is a defender. So keep in mind, Rodri is a midfielder, and besides Kimmich, who plays in midfield usually at Bayern too.
Who's that?
Some guy who played for RBL earlier. And the remaining 40, and out of the leading 15 players who played Bundesliga last season in passing department, are defenders. So this is what Rodri makes very, very special. He put up numbers, passing numbers from midfield that usually don't fit in modern football, to me.
So, Richard, it seems that Man City's midfield is missing 2 key players, with De Bruyne being injured and Gündogan playing for Barca. So do you think we're going to have a real chance to take advantage of that?
No. This is, in my opinion, this drop-off in quality isn't that big because Pep, again, was asked to reassemble this midfield, and he did that, in my opinion, by switching from his preferred 4-3-3 formation last season to a 4-2-3-1. So that means that Rodri in the defensive midfield gets one next to him, and then you have 3. One clear offensive midfielder, which is usually now taken over these duties by Julian Alvarez, and 2 wingers in the offensive midfield. So it's different formation that fits to this squad more than it fits, or the 4-3-3 formation fitted more to the midfield when Rodri had De Bruyne and Gündogan next to him.
So what could be the cunning plan then? How can we actually get a positive result on Wednesday?
Okay. The first thing I already mentioned, attack left defensive side. Okay. The second, be patient. Be patient. Be patient. The ball position will be in Man City's favor, no doubt about that, and no problem.
Oh, yeah.
There will be chances for turnovers, so be patient. Let them the ball, and the third one, be efficient. Be efficient. Sure, this is always good advice, I know. But in games like these, there won't be a lot of opportunities to score. So use those few you will get.
Oh, you're right. Sounds well, it sounds pretty logical, but being patient, bloody hell. It's going to be late night, just everybody's going to be impatient, but you got a big point. You got a big point there. I think it's going to be, well, another level up to Bayern Munich last Friday. I think the crowd's going to be there. And so that's going to be positive. Is there any prediction from your side? Can you make any predictions? What's going to happen?
If things don't get out of hand so quickly, like it happened in March this year, we have a chance. Yes, I do believe this. I can imagine a 2-1 win in our favor, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see Carvalho in the starting lineup instead of Forsberg, because
That's surprising.
he's a speedster. So he brings more speed, especially over the right midfield side. So Xavi can pass to him a few times, and maybe he is running away from Eki or Josko.
Interesting. So if we get into the lineup, what is your prediction for that?
Okay, Blaswig, Hendricks, Simakan, Luca Raum in the defense, Schlager Camper. I think they are undisputable at present. So Xavi and Carvalho. And in the front row, Openda and Paulsen. Paulsen, you need him to cause havoc, in the deep Man City's defense.
We talked about complaining. He's one for complaining as well. So there you go. But sounds like a good lineup. I think Timo Werner is still injured. I think he scored once and now he's injured. And unfortunately, Danny Olmo and Willi Orban are out. I did notice during the last game that Haidara was in the squad for warm up at the sideline, so that was quite nice to see. But when do you think Šeško is going to be a factor? Is he going to come in sort of like after an hour, or what do you think?
Yes, I do think we will see him on the pitch. Maybe in the whole second half. Depends on how the game develops.
I'm just hoping for a draw. I mean, I think I'll be happy with that. Not too optimistic, to be honest, but I think we're going to see a great fight. And now our team's going to put in everything they have, and we'll see where it gets us to. But
yes.
Just trying to avoid another disaster like we did in Manchester would be awesome.
This won't happen. I'm sure this will not happen again. I'm fine with a draw too.
Okay,
yes, but I'm sure 100% there won't be a blowout. No way.
Okay, we're going to mark your words in our next episode. Just like last time, guys, the fair is still going on. We call it the infamous Kleinmesse, and there are no parking spaces. So if you do have a ticket and you think about coming by car, don't use the car. Take public transportation, walk, and don't use a helicopter either, because we don't have any helipads. So there you go. Richard, pleasure talking to you again on this fine morning without sunshine.
The pleasure's on me. Thank you, Mario.
And have an enjoyable day. Everybody out there, thank you for listening. Hope you tune in next time. It'll be this week when we continue our weekly chat about RB Leipzig in English from Leipzig. Take care, guys. All the best. Tschüss. And auf geht's, Leipziger Jungs.